Hey everybody, welcome back to Northernlion Plays. Oxygen is not included. It's a separate purchase. Free with the drink purchase, some oxygen. I'll tell you what, this game really makes you appreciate the fact that you can essentially walk, I wouldn't say anywhere, but almost anywhere on planet Earth and just be flooded with perfectly breathable atmosphere. Like, it sincerely does make me grateful for the fact that, you know, maybe we poison the planet a little bit. It depends on which former vice presidents of the United States you ask. Please, just get out of here. What are you doing? Stop holding your breath. Escape. Don't just stand on top of the ladder. It's not breathable there. No wonder you're stressed out. And I don't know, dude, like, I feel like we might want to pump the carbon dioxide out of here. I don't think we're going to nearly be able to pump enough, but... Anyway, you know what we're doing right now. We're building this coal generator. Thank you, that's necessary. Even with max coal, we're not quite getting enough power for all of our uses, so we're building a second coal generator. They're big consumers of power in this colony. What can I say? I mean, we got 6 duplicants, and between these 6 duplicants, you know, they're using 2 generators worth of coal. That's too much. It strikes me as being kind of a problem, to be honest with you. Thank you for picking up the meal ice. I really do appreciate that. There you go. Okay, so now we want to see how this functions. Things getting charged up here. Everything's got power. See, the atmospheric pressure is getting not amazing here sometimes, but the gas pump's still working. Algae terrariums. It's always algae terrariums that lack resources because we're on 0 algae. Okay. So oxygen, now that we've got our power situation sorted out for now, we probably do need another electrolyzer. Keeping in mind that an electrolyzer does also produce hydrogen. What are you doing down here? So I'm thinking there's a couple of different ways we can do that. It seems to make sense to produce an electrolyzer someplace else, but it does require a new gas pump. It almost feels like we should just put an electrolyzer in a room and then sieve the oxygen out of the room and pump it in, like, somewhere over here. Like, why not? Oh, because we gotta build so much piping to get there. That's probably valid. Are these getting charged, by the way? They are getting charged. Okay, so our power consumption is okay right now. What about oxygen? We're like 3 kilos short on oxygen. It's not that bad, but it's also not that good. So if I'm probably not explaining it very well right now, but I want to find a way to get the oxygen production up. I'm worried that it's not the right... Is there a pressure? Maybe not. I want to produce more oxygen. If I do it here, it'll work, I think. Except, sometimes the vent will be overpressured, and producing more oxygen might not help us out here. So I think one thing we could do to reduce that overpressure, and I'm surprised I didn't think of this earlier, is... you know, put an airflow tile, like, here. Put an airflow tile, like, here. And maybe an airflow tile here. The idea is that the oxygen that gets produced leaves here, thus allowing this vent to be a little less pressured. And if that ends up being, like, a more elegant solution, then I'm a happy camper. What's being deposited up here? Hydrogen. That seems bad. Anyway, alright, so let's continue making our base our own. Again, I think we're doing an okay job thus far of putting out these fires as they appear. Certainly we want to harvest the food. See if we're still at, like, a kind of equilibrium. And in fact, the harvesting needs to be done as a priority 10, essentially. Because if you're not harvesting, that means that there's no... like, you've slowed down the growth procedure as well of the next level. So we do want to make a loom. I don't know if we have enough of a labor force to really justify the use of a loom right now. And also, our units are not... well, I don't know, maybe clothes, they might have other benefits beyond just... I'm assuming, like, de-stress, but also maybe it gives you greater thermal comfort. Like, if it gets colder, you'll be happier, or you'll avoid your penalty as much. And we want to tile this up because we're going to be using this area. Next cycle, we're probably going to crack into here as well. We just need more space. And the other benefit of this is that... yeah, that's going to be bad. The other benefit of this is that... we're continuing to get, like, deeper into the landscape, and we'll be able to get, you know, all this algae up here, which is very essential, because oxygen today is not looking great. Minus 13 kilos. Not terrible yet. I also want to prioritize boom, boom, boom. Units are carrying some stress day to day now. I straight up feel like you actually just should not run on the generator. Like, I just don't think it's necessary when we got two big hulking coal generators functioning right now. So the idea here is that this will improve oxygen production by making it so that the gas vent is less overpressurized. Because the airflow will happen here. Okay, we did just finish our next level of research. I don't even remember what it was in at this point. Distillation, perhaps? No. Distillation was long. Decontamination, that's it. We don't have a lot of polluted oxygen yet. So I'm not overly concerned about it, but today is going to be a little bit of a scary day. Why? Bear's stress continues to rise, but I do not know why. He did spend a lot of time not being able to breathe. I suppose that, in many ways, could be perceived as a negative. That could be stressful. I could understand that. I'm not sure about my my plan with this electrolyzer. I am noticing, you know, the hydrogen gas. Yeah. This should not be an airflow tile, you madman. Nor should this, probably. I mean, nor should this. Because the hydrogen... yeah, that's my bad. The hydrogen that gets produced by the electrolyzer is not getting pumped out in time. It's getting dissipated into the atmosphere, and it's depositing hydrogen gas up here, which is not amazing. Now, what we could say is, hey, why not put a hydrogen generator... and in fact, now I'm starting to think about this, and I'm like, maybe this is actually the way. But what if we put a hydrogen generator in the area where we dump all of the hydrogen gas from our electrolyzer? Now, I'm assuming it's not going to get to pump very often. No. But it could still be worth it. The real question, I think, is where do we put an electrolyzer? Because you can see we're getting gas in a lot of areas here. I would prefer not to. Dude, there's a lot of hydrogen up in this bedroom. Yeah, we're running into some problems here. Well, let's think about it logically. We also got some more utilities. We got an ore scrubber, hand sanitizer, which we don't have. We need bleach stone. Okay, so that's what bleach stone does. We can also make a deodorizer, which again, we haven't seen polluted oxygen much yet. We need to place an electrolyzer somewhere. And we want it to be somewhere that has good airflow So I actually think, please do me a favor and deconstruct this ration box. Thank you. I think that's good. Then we'll make an electrolyzer right here. In addition to making the electrolyzer, we're going to need to do a lot of other stuff. But today, forget everything else. Like, we're fine on food. More than fine on food. We have some serious problems related to oxygen. We need to handle those straight up today. So we're going to issue a lot of priority 9 orders. Here's one. And the reason we're doing this is because we want to get all this algae. At least, like, slightly run the algae terrariums today. But the electrolyzer needs to get built. We're also going to need to build another gas system to make it happen. I'm okay with it, though. Just watch it. You know, they got to do their own stuff as well in the interim period. Not mad about that. If they choose to do the build order before they do this build order, I'm also okay with it. Because we are going to get... Yeah, food continues to decay here. Well, I mean, honestly, this is a level 9, like, sweep as well, then. We can always make an extra little bit of mush loaf if we have to, but... So you're getting algae, and the algae is being used to deliver to the algae terrariums and help out your oxygen production a little bit today, which is also valuable. But I do want that electrolyzer up. It might take 2 days, 2 cycles, and you know what? If it takes 2 cycles, I'm okay with it. I think this is extremely important. You know, one thing I've been guilty of in Oxygen Not Included, more so in the previous series, but... you know, you see a problem and you just go, let's wait till it's a huge problem before we deal with it. And that's not a productive way to deal with things. You know, we gotta try to nip it in the bud before it becomes a serious issue. Fleeing. Where? This has been built. Oh, the hatch. Attack it. That's fine. Then... We want to make sure this is wired up. And it also needs, doesn't it need to be pumped into the water supply? Or no, water just gets delivered. So we do need a gas pump here. We need kind of the same setup that we have down here. A gas pump with a filter, and then it has to deposit hydrogen gas somewhere. And I think we're just going to build vents that deposit it down here. Although this is already overpressurized, so... I guess we gotta choose where we're gonna place it. Alright, so the hatch is dead. Again, I'm giving myself a couple days to deal with this. It's not necessarily like an instantaneous sort of problem that you can handle. We got about, 2,500 kilos of algae now. And rising. How does our oxygen look today? Minus 50 kilos. That's where you start to get a little scared, I think, is when you got minus 50 kilos of oxygen. No, you also have no liquid intake. Okay, so I am correct in that assumption. We also need liquid pipes. And this is clean water. So we can actually... That should just work. I could go boom boom for peace of mind, but in theory that should work. The idea is that, we eventually want to completely, or at least... Completely is unlikely. We want to make it so that we're, What are you missing? Dirt? Water. Yeah, okay. We want to make it so that we're, not relying as much on algae. We can always make more algae out of slime, but again, it's just... Eventually we're going to run out of slime. So you gotta get off of that from one way or the other. I mean, the other thing is eventually you're going to run out of things to generate power. You're kind of just... You're always in a race to figure out what the next resource that you're going to be missing is. And stress has gone way down. I'm very happy to see that. I would like you to finish At least getting the electrolyzer power set up. We would disable it overnight because I don't want any, But do we have enough? We have more than enough copper. I just don't want it to, necessarily produce a bunch of highly volatile hydrogen gas, but overnight. But I'm feeling relatively okay. So this should be the build. Thank you. You now have power. You're going to start producing, and that's where things get scary. So the very final step here is, well, the final steps. I hate to do it, but this thing's got to go. It's a lovely piece of art. I hate to see it happen. Please just disable the electrolyzer for now so we don't flood our base with hydrogen gas. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. We need a gas pump. It's just gonna pump right now. What's it gonna do with the stuff that it pumps? All the pumps inside that humps? I don't like the way I said that. It's gonna pump it into a filter. Again, I hit R instead of O to rotate. Every time, dude. Yeah, okay. And this is where things get tricky. It's gonna pump the oxygen. Just trying to put it in a situation where it's a little, you know, I mean, it's kind of like, it's getting a little tricky in here is all I'm saying. Sure. Put it right there. It might be bad for, it is way bad for decor, but nobody's sleeping here, so you're going to spit out oxygen here. Well, you're going to spit out atmospheric gas, but all the hydrogen, we want to, and again, these are priority 9s, we want to, pipes are bad for decor? No, vents are bad for decor. Wait a minute, no, vents are bad for decor, pipes are not bad for decor, okay. So in that case, just run them like this. So we'll fill this other place with hydrogen down here. And I think this is good to reuse this hydrogen store because we could eventually use it for power generation. But we also could pretty easily... The thing is, and again, I know this is DAE programming, but if we can use the same space, then if we ever want to... let me put it this way. The alternative to doing this is to make a second place where we're going to deposit hydrogen. It has the benefit in... Excuse me? Though? Because you can't... Can you not build a gaseous pipe through... I guess you have to take the tile away in order to build the... In order to build the tile that... I'm just a little confused is what I'm getting at. Essentially, my entire point right now is that, wow, we lost 50 kilos of oxygen yesterday. That's horrible. Hopefully today we get it sorted out. But, if we put all the hydrogen in one area, then if we ever need to make, the area larger so that more hydrogen can be deposited there, all we have to do is make this area bigger instead of remembering, oh god, we've got 12 different areas where we've duplicated this, the concept of hydrogen storage. We gotta make this one bigger, we gotta make this one bigger, we gotta make this one bigger. The other thing is, I'm stupid, and I think that, like, the gas pump's still working, and I'm eternally grateful for that. However, I should put the vent as low as possible in the hydrogen storage, because... Just wait till this is finished, but because the hydrogen floats, so if we put it at the bottom, the hydrogen will go upwards, and then we'll get a lot less vent overpressurization, I think. You might as well just, like, make this priority 9 right off the bat, dude. Instead of going through the song and dance. So yeah, I thought we were moving up to, I thought we were moving up to bigger fish to fry. But it turns out that we are going to spend a lot of today, good job on the research, we're going to spend a lot of today dealing with gas. And I'm happy that we're sorting it out before it hopefully becomes too much of a problem. Why are you seeming to be out of power right now? You should be getting power. Oh, there's no unreachable build. That's a problem. You know, it's your boy NL when he doesn't set the proper priority right off the freaking get-go. Alright. But again, I think this is smart. This is something I would not have done last time we went through the series. What do you mean this duplicant is not doing anything? Go take a shower, dude. Like, do something. The next thing, by the way, is then we have to deconstruct this. And I'm going to build out a much larger, like, hydrogen store. But we're going to do it in a way that I think is, like, among the smartest things I've ever done. In this game, at least. So we're going to build, like, a tunnel down here. From my window to yours. And then we're going to dig this, like, completely out, like this. All at a priority 9. We're going to build a gas vent and all the piping. Then we're going to crack in and we're going to connect the piping. So that we have as little building as possible to do while surrounded by just horribly dangerous hydrogen gas. So Bear, you know, he digs. It'll take him a while here, but it's going to get done. I don't like that these wires are getting overloaded. That's something I've never had to deal with before, but... Alright, it seems like we're doing pretty well on oxygen. Largely, that'll probably be because of the fact that we have also got algae again, and it's not going to last long. Normally, you'd say it's not going to last forever, but, you know, I'll go a step further. I don't think it's going to last very long. But at least oxygen's being produced. This bedroom still sucks, like... But there's a way out, actually, and we'll prioritize it highly. Two of these. Sure, some of the oxygen's going to sneak out the top, but it's already sneaking out over here. I'm more worried about the idea of the hydrogen gas getting deposited at the top here in this bedroom, so... I did prioritize those, right? Those are high priority builds? Yeah, he's got it. Airflow tiles means the hydrogen, which is the least dense of all the gases here, will just get out and escape. Now, some of the oxygen will as well. I think that's fine. At this point, we're kind of in like a beggars can't be choosers sort of situation. So yeah, in case I'm, and I think that this is fair, in case I'm not doing a great job of explaining what I'm trying to do right now, we're building straight downwards, because this isn't Minecraft. But we're building straight downwards in an effort to basically complete construction of what we want down here, and then we're gonna double, more or less, the size and the volume of this hydrogen store, and we're gonna connect the piping in advance. We should be researching new power, unless we've already gotten it. See this? Yeah. That way we can at least, anywhere there's circuit problems, we can nip them in the bud. And by nip them in the bud, I mean like the opposite of nip them in the bud, because at the present moment, the problem already exists. So it's not like we're really heading it off at the pass, but anyway. I'm surprised we're still doing fine. Stress is low, immune systems are 100%, food's still good, and we're definitely producing, yeah, like a lot more oxygen now. Power remains a very real concern. We're wasting 0. Turns out we probably didn't need 18 batteries. But it is what it is. Why are you out of... Are we still... We're generating less than we need? It just strikes me as surprising is all. Or is it because of the wires? It might be because of the wires. I can't say for certain. Getting a lot of overload damage there. We are also picking up some algae while we're down here, but the cycle is about to roll over here, and that's going to do it for today. I think we did what we had to do. We kept our alien ant farm running relatively strong here. Everything seems fairly well balanced. If we look at yesterday, gained a ton of oxygen. Didn't waste any power. Gained a few kilocalories. Minus 60 stress net day to day. I think that's very good. All right. How's this room doing for hydrogen gas? It's doing fine. All the hydrogen's getting up here. Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, click the like button. Helps out a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. But for now, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.